Playoffs, obviously, this weekend. 12 are first-round guys. Jalen Hurts, mid-second. Brock Purdy is a complete outlier, again, with a great quarterback whisperer, Kyle Shanahan. And there's a lot of different paths to becoming an NFL star quarterback. But mostly you got to be drafted in the first round. But it's interesting. I was looking this morning at all the quarterbacks, and it's not necessarily who's better. There are kind of two styles of quarterbacks in the playoffs this weekend. And I would say there are game changers. These are the guys that may have a size advantage, an athletic ability, horsepower advantage. And then there are guys I would call game planners. They're more reliant on the game plan. If the play breaks down, there's limitations. So I think it's split right down the middle. I think 7 guys have the ability, O-line breakdown, miss block, receiver falls, got to ad-lib. I say it's Josh Allen, Herbert, Caleb, Darnold, Love, May, and Lawrence. All can take off and run. Very difficult to play man-to-man coverage on those 7. That you turn your back to these guys, you're in trouble. Then I think there are the guys that are mostly, I would call, game planners. And by the way, Stafford and C.J. Stroud, huge fans of both, are game planners, whereas if the play breaks down, you're using a backup left tackle, your pass pro isn't as good, the running game is off, they're a little bit more tied to the game plan. And as much as I like C.J. Stroud, go look in the red zone. Houston's a really bad red zone offense. Why is that? Well, why would that be? C.J. Stroud's one of the best pocket guys in the league because he doesn't take off and run for touchdowns. That's not what he does. His comp coming out was a more athletic Jared Goff. Somebody asked me the other day about Fernando Mendoza's comp. I said, it's a little bit of C.J. Stroud.
All right. This is simply baffling on multiple levels. Consider the critique of Jalen Hurts. Oh, the offensive line isn't that good, or there's no run game, they're struggling. Sure. Yet, Jalen Hurts was the definitive game changer in both of his Super Bowl appearances against the Kansas City Chiefs. In those games, he had 0 run support. As a first-year starter, he was the Philadelphia Eagles' leading rusher and led the entire NFL in rushing yards among quarterbacks. Let that sink in. He has also spearheaded an entire playoff run as the leading rusher among all quarterbacks, a feat Patrick Mahomes, the archetypal dual threat, has not accomplished. The Eagles have consistently been elite in the red zone, an area where C.J. Stroud, for instance, is not highlighted as such. And yes, Matthew Stafford is elite too, a traditional pocket passer who is undoubtedly a game changer in his own right. Let's be perfectly clear on that. So, I'm utterly perplexed by the logic that would categorize Jordan Love, Sam Darnold, or Caleb Williams at this juncture as game changers, while omitting Stafford, Hurts, and others. It's nonsensical. Even Brock Purdy, in his own right during the playoff victories that fueled his Super Bowl run against the 49ers, Packers, and Lions, was a game changer. He absolutely was, particularly with his legs, delivering critical, must-have runs, especially in that fourth quarter against Green Bay. So, what is the rationale here? This makes no sense. None. A quick acknowledgement to the 49ers fan who brought this clip to my attention. We had what I'll call a gentleman's disagreement in the comments last week. I always appreciate when discourse can get heated, yet remain respectful, and both parties continue engaging. Sometimes conversations escalate to the point where someone declares, "I'm never watching again." It doesn't have to go that far. As I always say, let's discuss, even debate fiercely, but ultimately, let's enjoy the exchange. So, I appreciate that. But honestly, I just want to understand. Look at the 3 quarterbacks positioned in the middle of this discussion: Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, Jordan Love. These are all players I support. Quarterbacks I believe are either great or on that trajectory. Let's focus on Sam Darnold. He's obviously not universally hailed, but since his arrival in Minnesota, even before he took a snap, I've been advocating for him. I've been an outlier in that regard. Yet, in no conceivable universe can you label Sam Darnold a game changer while simultaneously asserting Jalen Hurts is not, or that Brock Purdy isn't. I cannot comprehend the mental gymnastics required to arrive at that conclusion. Let's zero in on Hurts specifically. The argument is he has no run support. He had no run support in either Super Bowl. What was his response? He set the record for most rushing yards by a quarterback in a Super Bowl, twice. He broke his own record the second time. If that is not, by definition, changing the game, what is? In that first Super Bowl especially, the run game was non-existent. He had to do it himself. Regarding red zone efficiency, he had to physically score touchdowns and critical two-point conversions. And these were not tush-push sneaks. He absorbed contact at the 2 or 3 yard line and muscled his way through himself. This was him rolling out, battling along the goal line. I genuinely don't know what direction this analysis is attempting to go, because it holds no logical coherence. It really doesn't. And then we have the ambiguous case of someone like Aaron Rodgers. Are we discussing present-day Rodgers or prime Rodgers? The lack of clarity is frustrating. Even C.J. Stroud, in his playoff game against the Chargers, the offense was largely stagnant until his scrambling ability opened everything up. Theoretically, you can find a game-changing moment for any quarterback, even backups. We've seen backup quarterbacks make plays that rival Patrick Mahomes. That's why phenomena like Minshew mania occur, because in isolated moments, they look spectacular. Therefore, the salient question becomes, how reliably can a quarterback access that game-changing ability, and do they access it in the biggest games, the most pivotal moments? Jalen Hurts has done exactly that across 2 entirely separate Super Bowl runs. Let's be unequivocally clear about that. How do you think he earned Super Bowl MVP? How do you think he shattered multiple Super Bowl and playoff records? Records that aren't solely rushing-based, but include passing completion percentage, combined passing and rushing touchdowns, first downs? The list is extensive. Good grief. It's honestly kind of ridiculous at this point. Truly. I suppose I'll just leave it here. I'll leave it for you all to dissect in the comments section, and I'll be there participating. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. Whether you agree or disagree, let's get into some discussions, even some heated debates. But ultimately, let's have fun with it. Please consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here. Just to reiterate the obvious, Jalen Hurts broke off a 40-plus yard touchdown run against the Los Angeles Rams. He powered in for a score against the Washington Commanders. Again, not a tush-push. He made an insane scrambling throw to Devonta Smith that directly led to a touchdown. He made an insane throw to Devonta Smith in the Super Bowl to tie the game and then scored the 2-point conversion himself. Those are my reflections. Let me know yours. You know the drill. Comment, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Let's get after it.